Good morning, everyone. Jonathan J. Reinhardt here from War Gaming Recon. This is the pandemic coffee break. Today is Thursday, May 14th. I can't believe I'm saying May 14th, 2020. And I want to welcome all of you to today's coffee break. So I am lucky enough to work from home. And just like when I'm at work, I'm taking a coffee break. So I'm here with my Timberwolves mug, decaf hot Earl Grey tea, and cream and Splenda. So I hope you are having a good day and that you have your favorite beverage with you. Please leave a comment below if you're watching live to let us know that you're here, and happy to be here with you. So yesterday we did not do a pandemic coffee break, and I put an announcement on our Facebook page yesterday, so we're going to head on over to our Facebook page so you can see all this in case you missed it. So I said today's pandemic coffee break is canceled. Sorry for the inconvenience. I put that up just before 9:30 a.m. yesterday, and we got some responses. This is a major disruption of my routine. Now when will I drink my fourth cup of coffee and dough? And I missed the last 2 days. So yesterday, I had intended to do the pandemic coffee break. And honestly, the morning was really bad. There's a lot of stuff going on that wasn't so good. And I needed a mental break. So I needed to take some time for self-care. And I hate that term. I really do. It makes me feel like I'm a marshmallow and a slight wind will, a little bit of rain will cause me to melt, that I'm too fragile. But I needed some time for me. And I love doing the pandemic coffee break. But as much as I love it, it is work. I think about what we're going to talk about and what to do, and then I manage the live stream, and I'm here chatting with all of you, which is fun. And yet, if no one comes or if there's not many people, it's me talking at the void, which I'm used to from the podcast or other things. But it is nice to have people here. And just things were really bad yesterday. They were pretty terrible. So I had to take some time for myself to kind of just collect and be in the moment and to deal with what was going on, and to take care of myself. So one of the things that I did, which kind of leads us into one of the topics for today, was in taking care of myself, and people might laugh and I don't care, is I had a friend. So this is my stuffed teddy bear right here. My wife gave him to me. It was one of hers when she was a kid. And my therapist had recommended that when I'm having some difficulty in life, if I need to take a break or if I'm feeling extremely stressed or depressed or overwhelmed or really anxiety ridden, I should grab my teddy bear and give it a big hug, because I'm someone who hugs really make me feel better. And I should just squeeze the dickens out of it. And so everyone's kind of different, right? But in general, my therapist had said that I might be surprised by how many people find this comforting and how much that they recommend it. And they've done a lot of work with people who are recovering from alcoholics, and go to AA meetings, or people who are substance abuse, and that a lot of these people would benefit from this. And a lot of them might not want to say that they do it. But what many grown-ups might admit to is that they hug a pillow at night, or when they're feeling stressed, and that they will grab their pillow and give it a good squeeze. And that's something I don't really do, which is odd because I love to hug. So like if you ever see me at a convention and you're not feeling great and you need a hug, I'm your man. I give full consent. Ask for a hug and I will give it to you. I am a hugger. And don't ask Adrian. He's not a hugger. But I am. And I'm soft like a teddy bear. So I am definitely a hugger. So I was hugging my teddy bear like crazy yesterday. And honestly, I felt bad because of canceling. I felt bad about letting all of you down. I know there are those of you who really look forward to this and enjoy it, and some who might need it, and some who just have a good time. So I felt bad about letting everyone down. I feel bad about everything all the time, honestly, is what it is. But my whole point for mentioning all of this, besides explaining why there wasn't one yesterday, is I want to share with you a vendor that can be helpful to you. So this is a vendor that I love from going to Total Confusion, and TotalCon is a favorite convention of mine. Here, let's go big on this. And so this vendor, the Dragon's Lair, wasn't there this year, 2020. And I wonder what had happened, but it turns out that they still exist, and they've created a website where you can go and you can buy stuff from them. So they're best known for their plushies that they sell. There's stuffed animals, they're cuddlies, whatever you want to call them. So they have this website, and then they have a bunch of different things that they have featured. But if you go all the way to the top and click on Shop All or Shop Now, you're going to see they have a gazillion things here. Like really more than you would ever imagine that they have. And what I like is they're not just your run-of-the-mill stuffed animals. So they have like cool things. They have a tardigrade. How often do you see a tardigrade? Tardigrades are awesome. A sea bunny, blobfish, an anglerfish. And then they have like cute things. They have dragons, which are really awesome. So I've purchased stuffed animals from them in the past to give to my eldest, and t-shirts from them that are really cool that I've given to my wife. And so if you or someone you know is in need of your own stuffed animal, your therapy plushie, whatever you want to call it, if you're in need of such a thing, I highly recommend you go here. And so I'm just going to plop a link for everyone into the chat here. And I make no money off of this. They're just a really amazing vendor who I adore, and they're wonderful people who run it, and they have really cool stuff. The plushies are really nice and cuddly. They do ones that are nice and soft and some that are a little firmer, and they do interesting ones. They also have t-shirts, like I mentioned, and then some of the plushies are I'm trying to see if they have any right here on the front page, are puppets. So let's see. Let's go over here to plush. Let's see if they have a subcategory. Here we go, puppets. So these are like puppets that you can use, which are really cool. You could do all sorts of stuff here. Maybe you want a three-headed dragon. $32 for this three-headed dragon, which is really cool looking. And it's a plushie, but it's also a puppet. You just pop your hand in, and then you can animate the arms and all the heads. It's really cool. So if you're into puppetry or you want to make some puppetry videos, this is something cool that you can do. And like I said, they have all sorts of plushies here, which I think are just really amazing. So they have a variety of categories here for them. Let's say you love, I don't know, bunnies. I love bunnies. Let's go look at the bunnies. You can get a jackalope. Look at this soft bunny here, only $16. A Flemish bunny. Look how soft and cuddly he looks. Someone must want a soft, cuddly bunny rabbit. So you can get whatever. And then, like I said, they also sell t-shirts. But the stuffed animals are really why I wanted to showcase them. And then you might be familiar with the plushies of all the different microbes, germs and things. So you could get Ebola or chlamydia, cancer. And they have all these, and they're kind of cutesy stuffed animals of things. So some people might be really into these. My mother-in-law was a microbiologist, and so she loves this kind of stuff. It's, geeky enough that it's weird, but then it's also kind of cute and cuddly and everything. So one thing I know is the designs of these actually represent what they look like on the cellular level. So if you look at, let's look at HIV. If you look at HIV, this is supposed to be a pretty good representation of what an HIV virus cell looks like. I'm no expert, so I'm going by what I've been told. And I'm not going to recommend that you buy an HIV plushie as your therapy plushie, but If that's what you need and you want, hey, more power to you. It's on sale too, $7.95. So why the heck not? But they do have all of these, and I've not purchased anything from them online. But like I said, they have all this stuff here. It's nice that they have it available, especially since conventions aren't around right now for people to go. And then they have all these cool T-shirts. I've gotten some really cool Doctor Who ones from them, T-shirts, and also some really cool dragon ones. My wife loves dragons. Let's see what they got for dragon stuff. Oh, well, fantasy, not just dragons. Oh, no, this is funny. Look at this. A cat Gandalf. That's kind of funny. So you can get whatever you like for yourself or the person in your life who might like it. And no, they didn't pay me to talk about them or anything, but they're just really cool. And so this was actually something I thought of yesterday after I'm just looking at the retired designs while we're talking. Oh, these are cool dragons. I was thinking about this yesterday a little bit after I realized that I needed to take a break from doing the live stream and about feeling bad about it. And really, I felt pretty terrible about canceling on all of you. But like I said, I needed it. And so I was taking a moment to be selfish, and I apologize for that, but it helped. Yesterday was a rough day. Today's better. So that is good. And maybe you need a stuffed animal plushie friend in your life. And this is where I would recommend you go, unless you have someplace local. Oh, you could get a chicken. I know someone who that'd be perfect for. So you could go and get some cool stuff from them. And they just got really neat things here. So if you're in need, please check out plushiezoo.biz. That's PLUSHIE zoo.biz. And this will bring you to the website for the Dragon's Lair, where you can go and shop stuff. And then they also have a convention schedule, which of course doesn't matter right now because all these cons are basically canceled. So you can see here they're showing which ones are canceled. Dragon Con hasn't canceled yet. They probably still go on. And what they have planned for 2021. And oddly enough, they don't show, and I don't know why, they don't show having TotalCon in there, which makes me sad. I'll have to ask the TotalCon people about it. So anyway, that is what we have there for all of that. But that's not all that I want to talk about. So I'm going to move my Teddy out of the way. Say bye-bye, Teddy. Bye-bye. I'm in a constant battle with my eldest, who loves this teddy bear and thinks it's hers and wants to borrow it and cuddle it. And so, which is fine, but important for there to be some boundaries there as well. And let's go to the chat to see what people are saying today. So we got Nathan here. Hello, Nathan. Thank you for joining us. And Philip, thank you for joining us from across the pond. And Larry, good morning. Yeah, it is a little chilly today, isn't it? And Nathan says that he still has his teddy. Tell us about your teddy, Nathan. You give it to your 2-year-old when she's having a bad time. It's a good thing to do. I want to share some cool stuff that you can do. And a little bit of drama as well. We're going to start with the drama. So this morning I happened to go online and I was looking at some stuff and I was taking a peek at what was happening at the battle groups on Facebook. And I noticed a bit of drama that I'm going to pull up and read. So there's a post put up by Warwick, who is the creator or one of the head creators of Battle Group, who posted in the official Battle Group World War II Wargame Rules group saying, quote, "Today's my last day on here. Sadly, the current pounds dispute hasn't been sorted, which is obviously disappointing, but it seems some things are more important. There will, of course, be time to kick up a fuss and demand this post is removed, though. But I guess it's about priorities, and keeping up the PR is more important than actually solving the issue. This post will also be removed, I'm sure. But anyways, in the meantime, thanks all for your support and kind words. Enjoy the games." And then there was tons of people who responded with angry things saying, "Oh my goodness, what happened? And how dare they?" And just terrible things about Plastic Soldier Company and all sorts of stuff. And I have no idea what the heck they were talking about. I was like, whoa, I know there's some contention going on with Plastic Soldier Company taking over more and more stuff and selling Battle Group, but I wasn't quite sure what it was. And I was like, I don't know that I need to know. But then it continued. So one of the people who's kind of like a head honcho there, I had made a remark that they weren't going to make a remark about anything, which is something I hate, but it makes sense because they said, until they talked to both parties, they didn't want to say anything. And then a short time later, after I saw these things, that other person, uh, um, whose name is Piers, commented saying, "Gents, Will from PSC asked me to post this here." And I'm quoting Piers, who's quoting Will. It says, "I think you should hear my side of the story. Warwick was paid a commercial rate by us to do the layout and graphic design work for North Ag, on top of his writing payments and author royalties. He made an error in the print files he sent to our printer, and the printer charged us a small fee to correct Warwick's error, which we passed on to Warwick. He's disputing it, and I'm talking to him about a solution. Always good to hear both sides of a story," unquote. Now, the reason why I mention this at all, because drama doesn't always have a place for anywhere. And this really seems like something that they should be working out privately, and Warwick and anyone else shouldn't have posted anything publicly about it, is my opinion. But I'm sharing it because I know so many of you are interested in are interested in becoming interested in Battle Group. And I think it's important to know that things are contentious there and that it may influence what happens there. And I'm not saying it will, I'm not saying it is or has, but I do know that there's been concerns in the past about when stuff gets rolled out and published and the way they handle it and their procedures for when something is a PDF and when something is in print and how things don't often overlap. And that might be a concern for some of you. So some of you might only want PDFs, especially during this pandemic. You might want to get the digital copy. You might want to get it and get access to it. You might not want to deal with any physical stuff. And that'll vary greatly depending on what they have planned. So the whole thing seems rather volatile to me. And some of my buddies here like to play Battle Group, and it's interesting. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's there. But you might want to dig a little deeper. And also, most important, not just with Battle Group, but with anything. Before you take anything, whatever anyone's saying, as fact, maybe wait a little bit, take a beat, and see what comes out, and see what further information is there, so you can make up your own mind. And I'm not saying that PSC is correct. I'm not saying Warwick is correct. I'm not saying any of this. I'm not wading into who's right and who's wrong. I just want that out there. But I think it's helpful to have further information to then make up your own mind. And I think this is one of the dangers of social media, that so many people with so many things jump to a conclusion instead of waiting to see what is happening and what the actuality is. And so we've seen this time and time again where game designers have been accused of things that they may or may not have done, and it may have turned out that they did not do what they were accused of. And by that point, Kickstarters have been ruined and businesses have taken incredible losses, and copyrights change and products don't get made or whatever. So it's just kind of helpful to take a breath, pause, and then move forward. So I wanted to share that for those reasons. I'm not saying any of you have trouble with doing that, but it's nice to remind ourselves to take a breath and pause and then move forward. So that's something I wanted to share there. And I also want to show you something that I worked on ages ago that I mentioned from time to time on the show. And it is the thing that took me 12 hours to paint. This objective marker for Flames of War. And this is a fuel dump, 15 millimeter. You could use this for Battle Group. And when you count drying time, mixing paint, inks, and all that kind of stuff, 12 hours of my life. And it does not look like it took 12 hours of my life, and it should not have taken that. And then here's one that I did later on. Same piece that took far less time. And they're both just fine. and both table worthy. Uh, and just it's kind of interesting how things progress. So this was something I did earlier in my painting career, and this is something that I did later in my painting career. And I don't know that you can get these anymore, but I love these pieces. There's a lot here that you can do. You can do a lot of cool dry brushing. You can add a lot of details to stuff. And they're just the nice pieces made out of resin. Good, hefty little things. So they're very cool. And I wanted to share them for all of that. Let's take a moment to talk about the convention happening on Saturday, May 16, 2020. Let's Roll Virtual Gaming Convention. And I want to take a moment to show you the games again, because so many of them are getting sold out. And I want to make sure that you get at what you want. So let's take a moment. If you've not signed up for anything, please pay extra attention. And if you have signed up, but you want to play more games, pay even closer attention, okay? So I'm going to presume you've all created your free account on letsrollcon.com, and then you just have to pick games. So we have descriptions here of games. The con starts at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, goes to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which means that basically everyone anywhere in the world should be able to play this. Some games can use more help and need more players, such as Road to Kamuta, which we've talked about, Battle Group World War II. And others have been sold out or are close to being sold out. So, for example, Chris Ritz playing Caesar Skirmish, sold out for the 10 a.m. slot, but there's some openings for later in the day. Zombicide, which I entreated you yesterday to sign up for because Zombicide's a lot of fun, has some spots. And you go down here, look, Mars is a Lie. This is Gaslands for noon, sold out. Lost Sisters, Battle for Alsace. This is 25 mil Victorian science fiction, sold out. Battle of Edson's Ridge still has some spots for Axis and Allies minis. Johnny Quest and the Eye of Makara only has 3 spaces left. This is Top Secret New World Order, which I mentioned would be really cool for anyone who's into like James Bond or spies and stuff. Only 3 seats left for playing a game of Shaco 2 at 2 p.m. Only 3 spots. Sign up now. You're going to run out of time to get into these things. Mago's Escape. This has been sold out for a while. Clash of Spears game run by one of the co-creators, Alvaro Ariz. There's still spots for Cube of Death here. And this is at Caesar's Skirmish for later in the day. Only 2 spots left. Do not wait. Then we go into 4 o'clock. AD&D with Stefan Picorni, sold out. Not surprised by that. I can tell you that these Gaslands games being run by Dave Valentine, if they're not sold out, I think they're going to be pulled. So if you really want to get into one of those, sign up now, because once they're pulled, they're pulled. 6 o'clock, sold out. Ultra Combat Normandy with the game designer. Colquitt at Chancellorville, sold out. You can still play Check Your 6 if you want. 7 o'clock, the Osiris Agenda. 1 seat left for this. This is another top secret New World Order, but this is kind of combined with Lucky 13. Only 1 space left for that. Then we move to 8 o'clock. Only 1 seat left for that 8 o'clock Ultra Combat Normandy with the game designer. Cube of Death, this is the one I'm going to be in. I'm playing this. I signed up earlier today for the 8 o'clock Cube of Death. Cube of Death is a great game. I've talked about this a lot. So you should sign up for that so you can play games with me. And then also for 8 o'clock, only 2 seats left for the Black Seas Pirate Encounter with Black Seas. But this isn't all that there is to do. So, of course, there's all these games and people should sign up for games. But we are going to be doing actual events and panels and stuff too. And I've not talked about this at all. So I want to kind of give you a moment to see what we have happening here. So let's take a peek at our panels. So you can see here we're kind of divided into three separate things. We have ones being hosted by Petra, who is the wife of York Bender, or Things from the Basement. One's being hosted by me, and then ones that are just live streamed games. Either they're going to be done as just like a live demo or a live game, but like, or they're just kind of a standalone. But there's stuff that is just going to be live streamed that doesn't need Petra or I to host. So you can see we start off with 10 a.m. Petra's going to do an interview with Ben from Foreground. At 11 a.m., you have two choices there. Petra's doing an interview with Thomas, who's the owner of Stassi's Heroes. And then I'm also going to be hosting with Roby Jenkins from the UK, talking about game design. So that'll be really cool. At noon, you're going to have some cool options here. There's going to be a tutorial on flocking your terrain that Petra's hosting with Tim Peasley. Or you can watch live stream game Johnny Quest and the Eye of Makara. And I should say at any point from 10 a.m. all the way to the end of the day, there's a painting hangout with the fellows from Iron Hammer Studio. We're just going to kind of be there working on stuff and painting throughout the day. At 1 o'clock, we go into what I'm calling the Jonathan block of time. 1 o'clock, these are all Eastern Standard Time times. 1 o'clock begins an interview with Guy Bowers talking about War Game Soldiers and Strategy. Then I chat with York Bender about his upcoming Gettysburg Kickstarter from Things to the Basement. 3 o'clock, not on here, but 3 p.m. is the live stream recording of a Wargaming Recon podcast episode. Adrian and I will be doing that. 4 o'clock, I'm doing an interview with Game Master David Hill, who's used the Yamashiro Mountain Fort to really like a great extreme. He has a huge board and everything that's been done. He's taking it to big conventions and run games, and he's going to talk about game mastering, using it at large conventions and dealing with players and all that kind of stuff, and give advice for games. And then at 5 o'clock, there's this woman, Brianna Richardson, who has this company where she's doing an interesting thing where people can purchase dice and donations are made to charity, and people can actually win stuff who are coming to the convention. So this is where we're going to reveal winners and where we can learn more about that. Also, during the Jonathan block, you'll see at 1 o'clock, there's going to be a demo game of Trilaterum with Timothy Colonna. The Magos Escape game is going to be live streaming, and there's going to be a paint and chat with Timothy Colonna from Trilaterum Games. And then you can also learn how to make outbuildings from craft sticks with Tim Peasley, hosted by Petra Bender. And then once we get into 6 o'clock, there's going to be an interview with Timothy Colonna. Petra's going to explore Trilaterum with him. And the game, The Osiris Agenda, will be live streaming. The Wargaming Recon Hangout will not be happening because then at 8 o'clock, I'm going to be playing in Cube of Death. And another thing that's not on here, 10 o'clock in the morning, actually, for 10:30 really, is going to be a pandemic coffee break. So there's a lot of live streamed events happening so that you can pop in and out. You do not need to sign up for these events. You just kind of come. We'll have that stuff streaming, and there'll be links, and as many of these events as possible will be recorded so that you can then watch later on. So we got all that. I think I covered everything. That's really cool. And that brings you back to me. So I hope this has been interesting and informative live stream here, a live stream pandemic coffee break. Please take the moment to go to letsrollcon.com. Make sure you register for games. So you just log into your user account and then go pick the games you want. And like I showed you yesterday and the day before, and the day before, and the day before that. Well, I didn't show you yesterday, did I? But like I've showed you previously, you just go, you pick the games you want, you scroll all the way to the bottom, you choose how many tickets you need for which game, and then the ones listed at the top with the ticketing are the ones that have later time slots, and the ones with earlier time slots are at the bottom. I know that's a little confusing, but that's just how it is for right now. So otherwise, I will be back tomorrow with another pandemic coffee break at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the last one before the convention starts. And I really look forward to seeing you all at the convention, no matter where in the world you are. I think we're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of work on my part and the part of the other organizers, but it should be a good time. So otherwise, please Remember, not just with the pandemic, but with all things in life, do not trust Karen on Facebook because she is wrong. Everything she says is a lie. Please listen to the experts, the professionals, and in the case of the pandemic, the doctors, scientists, and medical professionals. They know what they're talking about. Please defer to them. Other than that, I hope you are well and safe and happy. If you are feeling that you need a mental break like I did yesterday, take it. Take care of yourself. If you have a stuffy, give them a hug, snuggle them. It's okay. Even if you look foolish, I'm sure I look foolish right now. Looking foolish is okay. It's okay to lose it. It's okay to be angry and to be mad and sad and depressed. It's okay to feel all these things. And you might not feel like it is, but the world is a very crazy place right now. And all we can do is the best we can. And it's really important to remember that good enough is good. We just need to get through the day. And that way we can see another day tomorrow and do it again and again and again. And it will be okay. We will get through this. I promise you we will. So until next time, please be kind to yourself and to others. And then I hope you're having fun. I hope you're doing okay. Know that we care about you. We think about you. And so until next time, you know that no matter how busy you are, no matter what's going on in your life, no matter how much time you're thinking, wow, Jonathan spent 12 hours painting that, you know that you have to keep on gaming. Bye, everyone. Be well.